Galveston, Texas was the site of the deadliest natural disaster in U.S. history, the Great Galveston Hurricane more than a century ago, and it's now facing some of the worst rains the remnants of Hurricane Harvey have to offer. Much of the city and the surrounding area are under several feet of water. Galveston County issued a mandatory evacuation for the town of Dickinson earlier today. Dickinson is where this now iconic photo was taken of nursing home residents stranded in 3 feet of water. Thankfully, those residents have since been airlifted to safety. Joining us now is Dr. Craig Brown. He's a councilman for the city of Galveston's 2nd District. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're so sorry for what you're going through right now.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
What is the situation in Galveston County right now as we speak?
Well, right now on the island here in Galveston, we seem to be faring fairly well. We have had an unprecedented amount of rain, as the entire area has, but we're pretty high and dry right now compared to the mainland, especially Dickinson, Clear Lake, League City, and up through Houston area.
Yeah. Speaking to the wider Galveston County, you mentioned Dickinson, where that nursing home photo was taken. How did it come to that?
Well, it was one of these situations that each one of these hurricanes have a different personality, and this one here, it was just all the water and the rain that came, and we're seeing flooding that was happening literally overnight in areas that have never experienced flooding before.
Yeah, it's amazing. People were just so stunned by it. Dickinson has now been evacuated, and as we've been reporting, there are mandatory evacuations being imposed just now in many parts of Texas, but the conditions are difficult. We had Steve Harrigan on a while ago saying bridges have sinkholes, there are structural concerns. Dangerous to leave at this point, but even more dangerous to stay?
Well, that's exactly right. You're in the Galveston area, especially on the island here, we're telling everyone to just shelter in place. Now, we did an evacuation today of over 300 individuals. Most of those were from the mainland and the Dickinson area, but we wanted to make sure those individuals weren't kept in harm's way as Harvey turns back and heads back this way.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's going to circle around again. We often see people breathe a sigh of relief when those high winds of the initial hurricane pass, only to be devastated a day or two later by the flooding and the storm surge. Were people taken by surprise? Yes,
very much so. And, you know, we experienced Ike in 2008, and that was a storm surge that just devastated this area back at that time. And we haven't experienced, though, this amount of water coming in this short a period of time in the history or in the memory of many individuals that have been on the island here for a long period of time.
Yeah. What different agencies are on the ground, and how many volunteers are helping out?
Well, we have all types of agencies. Of course, all the emergency response teams from all the different communities around, the Red Cross, Salvation Army, all of the agencies that are involved with community service. They're working in the shelters. They're working in different areas. One of the concerns that we're having in the entire area that we'll experience in the days to come is the lack of resources, food, fuel, those types of things that we just won't be able to get because trucks really can't come down into this area.
Yeah, yeah. And meanwhile, the shelters are filling up?
They are. Now, Galveston Island right now, we do not have any shelters open on the island, but the shelters up in the mainland area and especially up in the Houston area are filling up very rapidly. I think there's over 5,000 now at the George R. Brown Convention Center in Houston.
Yeah, where people also took shelter after Katrina years ago. The focus right now, obviously, is on saving people. At some point, the damage will be assessed. What do you estimate might be the financial cost to Galveston County?
I think it'll be massive. I think it'll set all-time records when, as I mentioned, when Ike hit in 2008. It set over, I can't remember the total amount, but it was a massive amount and ranks as one of the most devastating economically speaking hurricanes there was. I think this will probably top that.
Tell me about the spirit of the people right now.
I think everybody is very focused on helping. I think everybody is looking outward to see what they can do to help their fellow man. I just came from the emergency operating center for Galveston, and we're getting a lot of calls of people that wanting to just help. They want to help with evacuations, they want to help with supplies, or they want to just come up and do whatever they can for their fellow man.
All right. Well, again, we wish you all the best of luck, and our prayers are with you. Dr. Craig Brown, a councilman for the city of Galveston's 2nd District. Best of luck.
Thank you very much. And
we also just want to remind people, because we're talking about how much help they're going to need, the phone number you can call is 1-800-435-7669. That's 1-800-HELP-NOW. That's the Red Cross, or you can just go to redcross.org. They are going to need all the help they can get. Trace?